Good morning, everyone. This is Gail Dudley, and it is time for News in Motion. Good morning. Today is Pi Day, y'all. It's Pi Day. It is Monday, March the 14th, 2022, and it is time for the weekend recap. So come on in the room. Let me know you're here. Come on in the chat. Put something in the chat. Let us know how your weekend went. Just something. What did you do this weekend? How was this weekend different than any other weekend? I see you, Cherie. Good morning. I see you, Deborah Johnson. Good morning, sister. Good morning. Let us know. And we know that the time changed. We went into, what is it, spring forward. So some of us are probably still asleep, but we are here. I see you, Lori Wallace. Lori, did your sweatshirt come in? Good morning, Katrina. Good morning. Good morning, Jeffrey Allen James. Good morning. Um, you continue to rest and heal. You do that. You do that, brother. I want you completely well, of course. So come on in the room, y'all. Let me know. Again, what did you do this weekend? Whether it was read a book, take a walk, whatever. Good morning, Pastor Alex. Good morning to you. So come in the room, y'all. Let us know what you did this weekend. And I figured today is going to be, people are going to be dragging because the day that you change the clocks forward, you can kind of get up. I see you, Davia. But then the next day, like me, I'm like, whew, that time change, it hits you different. Deborah said you went to a basketball game for 8 and 10-year-olds. That was probably interesting. Tell us about that. Good morning, Shirley. Good morning to you. Good morning, Latrice Jones. Good morning to you. Good morning. All right, y'all. We got a lot. We got Kenny's gonna bring us the sports. Let's see. Lori said, "Honey, yes, I love it. My boyfriend trying to steal it. Oh, the sweatshirt! Yay!" I'm like, okay, where are we going? Where are we going? Davey said, "Chilled at home with the hubby." That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Um, I actually went to Atlanta. If y'all have not um followed or liked on Instagram, they're called the Black Voices Movement. They did a thing called Black Voices Live in Atlanta, and it's a Christian event. And they had these HBCUs all from the South. They partied. When I say party, they partied in a praise and worship time, Friday and Saturday. It was amazing. I'll say it like that. It was amazing. So you want to check them out. Black Voices Movement. They're really doing a tour with HBCUs to just talk about the Black voice in the Christian community. So that was my thing. Latrice says, "Look at you glowing and things." I'm tired. Glowing? Well, thank you. Adrian, good morning. And good morning, Dr. Antoinette. Good morning to my brother, Liz Pryor the third. Hey, listen, y'all. Listen, listen, listen. I've been very transparent, forthright, forthcoming, whatever you want to name it or call it. I've been doing all of those things. So on this Wednesday, if I can get all of you to pray this Wednesday, I actually get that final test I need to get. So just pray with me. I would greatly, greatly, greatly appreciate it. I keep begging God, let it be nothing, let it be nothing. But God knows what He's doing. So if y'all would just join me in that time of prayer, I would greatly appreciate it. Okay, y'all, we got a lot of news. So let's go ahead and get this news in motion. Let's go.
News in motion.
I see you, Marian Jackson. I see you, Pastor Annette. Good morning. See, Latrice says she worked on Saturday. The Columbus City Schools Pathway Express is on the move. She said, ask her about it, y'all. So go ahead and ask her about it. All right, y'all. Just because we're all like waking up, like we want that hour back, we thought we would start today with some fun and some food. It is Pi Day. It is Pi Day. I don't know much about Pi Day, but here's Pi Day. And let me start by saying this. This image right here is credited by Match.com. Pi has been around for 4,000 years, used by ancient Babylonians to calculate the area of circle by taking 3 times the square of its radius, according to a San Francisco-based museum. Now, I'm talking about some math that I have no idea what it is. So I was doing my best to study. I thought I would grab the history that I needed to grab and just say, hey, we talk about every other day. So we're going to talk about Pi Day as well. So hear me, hear me. Then we're going to show some images. But hear me, y'all. There's some pie deals out there. Now, I don't know who's buying pie, a pizza from 7-Eleven, but 7-Eleven has pizza for $3.14 today. BJ's has pizza for $3.14. Blaze Pizza, Chuck E. Cheese Pizza, Domino's Pizza, Donato's, Honey Baked Ham. I don't know when they got into the pizza business, but Honey Baked Ham, Marco's Pizza, White Castles. Now they're not giving you pizzas, but they're giving you dessert on a stick. Never had that. Don't know what that is. And then Whole Foods also have they're doing $3.14 off of pizza pies. All right, now pies online. We're going to give you a quick few things. There's Gold Belly, number 2 there. That one right there that you see on the screen now is Harry and David. The next one is Milk Bar. The next one is William Simona. The next one is Bake Me a Wish. The next one is Grand Traverse Pie Company. The next one is Three Brothers Bakery. The next one is Chocolate Maven. The next one is Buttermilk Sky Pie. And the final one is Pie Graham. So we got those up there. So that's what's happening, y'all. If you want to get a pie today, get your pie, whatever pie that looks like for you. All right, y'all, now to get in the news. I thought I would do something to wake us up just to get us moving. I see y'all coming in here. I see you, Diane, Ladybug. Yes, all right, y'all. Pray for our former president. Barack Obama tests positive for COVID. Michelle Obama is tested negative. He said he had a scratchy throat. He put it out there on Twitter. So I posted on my wall, but just pray for him. We don't know. There's some people that end up having it, although they've been vaccinated and boosted, and it lasts a while. Now, in other COVID news, you don't want to hear it. I put this on the walls as well. Y'all, there's a new variant. They took the Delta and the Omicron, they mashed them together. It's called the Delta Cron. Now, they're saying because we may have hit herd immunity and what they're seeing so far, that it may not be as serious. So let's pray that it's not. But you do what you do. China, though, is on complete lockdown because they've had the worst cases possible with Deltacron. Just thought I'd put that out there. Yep. Tens of millions of residents across China are under a lockdown. The country grapples with what they're calling the worst reported COVID outbreak since the beginning of the pandemic. Yep. Officials recorded almost 3,400 new cases just on yesterday, doubled the previous day, with the virus spreading in all 18 provinces. So I just thought I would share that with you. Again, you do what you want to. We don't want to scare anybody, but it is what it is. All right, y'all, here's something to think about. And I was reading this going, this is interesting. Bloomberg is reporting sending its national security, U.S. is sending its national security advisor to Rome to meet with the top Chinese diplomat. High-level talks between the two countries since Russia invasion began. I can't even talk this morning. Now, we don't know what side China's on, but they're now saying that they're blaming the U.S. for the start of this war. I'm like, oh, we ain't had nothing to do with it. We ain't had nothing to do with it. They just said that, China has acknowledged the humanitarian crisis in Ukraine, but it criticizes the U.S., not Russia, for provoking the war. I don't know. I still think about that previous occupant. Something's not lining up here. They said when 141 countries of the UN General Assembly voted to pass the measure to urge Russia to immediately stop its aggression, China was one of the 35 to abstain. Yeah, they's like, I ain't in that. We just gonna sit back here and see what happens. Now, there's no denying that the Chinese president and Putin, they're good pals. We saw that at the Olympics. We're good pals. So we don't know what's happening here, but they now looking at the US. So all I can say is pray. Yeah, the New York Times is reporting that the Texas Supreme Court on Friday effectively shut down a federal challenge to the state's controversial plan on abortion of about 6 weeks. So they pretty much shut it down. The ruling says state officials have no authority to enforce the law, which empowers private citizens. And the citizens are saying, the authorities and the citizens are both now saying, we cannot rewrite this statute. So the bounty, that's what people are calling it, is out there of $10,000. So it's going to be interesting to watch this unfold. Um, and women are ready to mobilize and say, this is our body. So we're going to continue to see what's happening there. New York Times is also reporting that Brent Renaud, an award-winning American filmmaker and journalist, and I mean, I know him more. I don't know him personally, but I know him more on his journalistic side. Amazing man. He was killed in Ukraine on yesterday while reporting in the suburbs of Kyiv, according to the Ukrainian interior minister. Um, uh, Brent was 50 years old, had worked with a number of American news and media organizations in the past, including HBO, NBC, and the New York Times. So I just want to just pause just for a moment to say, sorry, that's a great loss when you have somebody on the ground getting this information. I used to pull a lot of content from his writing. And so he has passed some of the shelling where he was at, where there was heavy shelling. He was hit by some of the shelling there. So the Ukrainian official said another journalist was wounded as well, but they have not released their name and they're still working on them. So let's continue to pray for all of those individuals who are on the ground reporting. A lot of the women in Ukraine, Ukrainian women, they are taking a stand as well, reporting facts, news. Now, BBC is reporting that the Russians have now captured its second mayor. So we do that now. They've captured them and they're replacing them with their own Russian people. Ukraine's government has accused the Russian military of abducting their mayors, and they're now holding them hostage. They're now putting their own people in place. They're calling it the new reality. There's a female who's now been installed, and they urge residents not to take part in the extremist actions and declared her main task was to construct a basic mechanism under the new reality. Who does that? I mean, this is what's happening right before us. So we need to be paying attention to this. Now, Sky News is reporting that Pope Francis is now speaking out. On Sunday, he said, "In the name of God, I ask, stop this massacre." Yes, Pope Francis has called out Putin to stop the massacre in Ukraine, warning cities risk being reduced to cemeteries. That's what he said on yesterday during the mass. He goes on to say, "This is unacceptable armed aggression against Ukraine, and it must stop." He was speaking to thousands in the St. Peter's Square for his Sunday blessing. He just said, "This is There's no reason for what's going on." He prayed for the end of the bombings and other attacks and for ensuring the humanitarian corridors are safe and secure. I don't know if y'all watching the video. I have this video up on my Instagram story where the Ukrainians, as they're on YouTube, they're learning how to defuse bombs. So they had water or something they were pouring on, and somebody else was carefully unscrewing something, which was one of the bombs from the Russians, and they defused the bomb. I'm like, wow, like just watching this unfold, it's just amazing. It really is amazing. Yeah, and then the other thing I want to talk about with the Ukrainians and the war, the CTV News is reporting in Bangkok that thousands of Russian tourists are stranded in Thailand's beach resorts because of the war. Many are unable to pay their bills, all the sanctions, they've shut down their money. or to return home because of flights where people are saying they're no longer flying there. So there's a lot that's going on. So again, y'all, why do we vote? We vote so that we have an understanding ourselves. What are sanctions? Who's voting for them? Who's voting against them? What about the oil? What about the gas prices? And let me put a pin in it right here. Well, y'all, please, not y'all. I want the world. I want this country to stop blaming. And this is, I even will say the same thing when the old occupant was in, that other person was in the Oval. The presidents don't control the gas prices. It's amazing the spin and the words that we put out there. It all comes from supply and demand. That's what it comes from. Now, inflation is real, and I have something on inflation right here. The Federal Reserve is expected to raise interest rates for the first time since late 2018. This week, they're planning on doing that. This comes at what they're calling a moment that as inflation is soaring at 40-year highs, but the war in Ukraine threatens to slow the economic growth. Federal Chair Powell will need to they're calling thread the needle to cool down the prices without inducing a recession. So let's even talk about that, y'all. We have to look at the big picture. Again, I don't know how else I can communicate this. And if somebody has an answer who can help me, let me know. But y'all, this is what's happening. All of this, when these kind of votes come to the floor in the chambers, we need to understand the different people that we voted for to put into these office, or that, maybe we didn't vote for them. We need to have a greater understanding. Excuse me. We got to get beyond popularity. I don't know how else to communicate that. We got to look at their track record. We can see their voting record. And hear me, we can even, because they're now official candidates, we can even see how they voted in the past before they became a candidate of an office. All of that becomes public knowledge. It takes time to do this. And as the news and motion ambassadors, as we are gathering this information, if you want to become one, you can. We gather this information to look at, okay, where do they really stand? We can also see where they're connected to money. So let's pause. Who jumped on the fence to want to sanction the Russians? Cinema and Joe Manchin. You gotta ask the question, why? Why did you come on this side now? What is your connection to the oil? What are the connections to the different sanctions? Where are you on a board, or where are you receiving funds? Y'all, this is how we track how they're voting. Some of you may say, oh, I'm not interested in that. We better be. We better be interested in things like that. And our job here from the News in Motion, as we're going into midterms, we're going to bring this information out. We think it is that important. So if we hear about it, feel free. Or if you want me to put it on here about a particular candidate, make sure you vet them. Make sure you vet them. Don't use a spin. There's an app out, and it's called Grounded. Grounded. It's called Grounded. There's an app out there that gives you all the news. Now, many of them have paywalls, just want to warn you, but it will tell you if the news is left, if it is right, or if it is centered. And you just go through, and I normally look at the centered news. And this out there, journalists use it all the time, but it's out there for you to read it as well. Again, you have to get through the paywalls. I can get through the paywalls because of my press passes, but many of you will be faced with paywalls. But you can at least see from the title if it's centered news, or if it's left or right. It will even tell you if it's far left or far right, or it will say mostly left or mostly right. You always want to pull from the center. Y'all, here on News in Motion, and I know those who tune in know by now where I'm headed and what I do. I'm here to educate. I think knowledge is power. We know that. That's a quote out there. I believe it. Knowledge is power. I ain't come up with that. But y'all hear me. I believe it 1000%. Knowledge is power. It makes you pause and say, is this really what's happening? What's really going on here? We have to look at it. when the new variant came out, I'll use this as an example, and then we're going to go to sports. When the new variant came out, Delta Cron, and I was going through all of it, there were some people saying this is the worst variant. No, it really isn't. It's not. So I went to the CDC to pull information. I went to the World Health Organization to pull information. I went to NPR, who's a centered news media, and pulled information. I went to the BBC, is centered. I went to PBS, is centered. I wanted to pull out the information that was needed so that I can then give it to you. So when I posted on my wall, I said, they say it's not serious, but this is why I still wear a mask. And I still wear a mask on a plane. I was on a plane this weekend. And, people still don't want to follow the mask mandate. And the dude on Delta said, we ain't pulled back yet. I can put you off. And so got the dude put his mask on. But then again, we get up, he takes it off. I'm like, dude, just put your mask on. It's just an hour and 9-minute flight. Just put your mask on, please. And he was close to me. So I was like, please put that mask on. But hear me, we need to understand what's happening. And then even with that, Delta was airlines were talking about striking. And I'm trying to figure out, how are you going to strike? They just gave you a whole lot of money. Y'all, these are the kind of questions we need to ask, going back to what I shared a couple of weeks ago. This is vital. These things are important. And that's why I bring these things to you. Real quick before I go to the news, President Zelensky tweeted, war is not only a military opposition on UA land, it is also a fierce battle in the informational space, which it is, y'all. It is a fierce battle. And the question is, what information are you going to believe? That's why I wanted to read this tweet. He goes on to say, I want to thank at Meta. Yeah, he thanks Facebook, at Meta, and other platforms that have an active position that has helped and stand by the side of the Ukrainians. He goes on to say, that he wanted to highlight Mark Zuckerberg and his company for taking action to limit the spread of Russian propaganda on his platforms. As you all may have heard already, the president of Russia, Putin, he has canceled Instagram, Facebook. All those things are blocked in Russia. But one thing that he kept, and here's how we ask these questions, people, he kept WhatsApp. Well, WhatsApp is Instagram and Facebook. So why are you keeping WhatsApp but not Facebook and Instagram? These are, and I don't have the answer to that, but these are the questions we must massage and ask. All right, y'all, that's a whole lot of news, but I can't wait to hear from Kenny. We got the new video up, ready to go. So after this, we'll hear from Kenny Stanley. I love that. I love that. So bring on Kenny as Kenny's coming in here. Good morning, Kenny.
Good morning.
I want y'all to hear what Elizabeth Towns just said. She said, our president, the people's president, has COVID. I'm packed up to go provide care. So many other people are too. Y'all, his wife is at home. His wife is negative. She's okay. She's tending to that man. What's up, Kenny?
What's happening? How y'all doing today? Good morning, News and Motion family. How y'all doing? Everybody doing okay? Welcome to Game Over. Game Over with me, Kenny Stanley. We got some weekend news for you. Here we go, the news and sports this weekend. I find it funny, Deshaun Watson, who was up on charges, he's a Houston Texas quarterback, he was up on charges for some sexual improprieties, but they couldn't charge him. The grand jury came back and denied all 8 cases. It was a total of 9, but they didn't even bring the ninth one in once they said no, nothing happened. But as soon as that was over, to try to keep that news down, Tom Brady comes up. Yep, Tom Brady said it's not over. I'm coming back for year number 23. I hope this man don't get hurt. Tampa Bay got a lot of work to do. They don't have an offensive line to protect him. Tom Brady gonna mess around and get his neck broke. I don't hate to say that, but he should have went on and retired. I don't know what's up with my Dallas Cowboys owner, Jerry Jones. He done lost his mind. A year and a half ago, or maybe I just say towards the end of 2020, he signed Amari Cooper to a 5-year, $100 million contract. This weekend, Jerry Jones decides to trade Amari Cooper to the Cleveland Browns for a 6th-round draft pick. That is so disrespectful. This man is a #1 receiver in the NFL. He ranked 8th in the past couple of years in receiving yards and catches in the NFL. And you get rid of him? Makes no sense to me. Jerry Jones is a nut. I put it out there. The owner of my team is a nut. He's gone. It's that time, everybody. College basketball. The madness begins this week. Starts tomorrow with the play-in games. You got 4 games tomorrow to see where these teams are going to play at. Who's going to win it? Are y'all going to fill out a bracket? I'm going to fill out one just for fun. I don't do it anymore. I don't do it for a prize or anything anymore, because by the end of the first weekend, my bracket is done. My bracket is done because of all the upsets. Ohio State managed to pull out a number 7 seed. I don't know how they did that the way they've been playing, but they play Loyola Chicago on Friday at 12:15. Will the #1 overall seed Gonzaga Bulldogs pull it off this year? They seem to get there, make it to the Sweet 16, maybe the Elite 8, and all of a sudden they forget how to play basketball. And then they mess around and get blew out, and they don't do it. They've been a #1 seed. I know at least 4 out of the last 5 years, but they can't get it done. On the women's side, with Coach Don Staley and her South Carolina Gamecocks, who are the overall #1 seed, will they win it this year? I'm pulling for them. Them girls be balling. But it's going to be like I said, it's going to be a stiff competition because, like I said, these girls come to play. They come to do the thing. The Ohio State's women's team pulled out a #6 seed, but they're waiting to see who they're going to play because on the women's side, they have a play-in tournament that starts Wednesday. So they have a play-in tournament to see who's going to, what 14, out of the 4 teams, the 2 that's going to make it 64 teams. So Ohio State is waiting to see who they're going to play. In the NBA, are the Lakers, are they just going through the motions? That was total embarrassment yesterday. There was a few of us talking about we was done watching at halftime. The Lakers got blew out by the Suns, 140 to 111. Like I said last week, I'm going to see it again this week. Nobody is showing up for the Lakers but LeBron. Makes no sense to me. You're getting all this money, but y'all act like y'all can't play basketball. This is crazy. This is real crazy. Nobody's playing defense, and from the looks of that score yesterday, nobody playing offense either. It's just crazy to me. The 76ers beat the Orlando Magic 117 to 114. Grizzlies beat the Thunder 125 to 118, and the LA Clippers beat the Detroit Pistons 106-102. In Major League Baseball, there will be a season. The lockout was over on Friday. They came to an agreement. It looked like the players won. It looked like they're getting ready to get some more money. They get the most money anyway, but it looked like the players are getting ready to get some more money. The season will start on April 7th. That's opening day, and it will be a 162-game schedule. So they're going to play a complete season. So that means they probably won't be over until November. That's crazy. It's cold outside in November. Anyway, and then in golf news, Tiger Woods was inducted into the World Golf Hall of Fame. His 14-year-old daughter introduced him. He was inducted in 2020, but because of COVID, they wasn't able to have the ceremony until this past weekend. So congratulations to Tiger Woods. That's sports. Game over. Back to Gail with some more news.
Hey, before you go anywhere, Latrice Jones had a question. She said, do you think these women should face any punishment for their accusations since they were unfounded?
You know, it happens over and over again, especially with our black players. Just got to put it out there. There was a guy that he was a high school. They did a movie about him, and he was in high school, and a girl accused him of rape. Uh, he went to prison. He got out of prison. Her mother got all the money, got all this money, everything, you know, and then come to find out she was caught in a lie. Nothing ever happened. Mother didn't have to pay the money back, nothing. Ruined this man's career. Deshaun Watson, with these women coming out saying what they said, and I think it was something completely different behind this. I think the Texans kind of put him up to it because they got rid of his whole team, and he wanted to go too. What am I out here playing for? And then all of a sudden, when he said he wanted to go, allegations come up, and now they're unfounded. So I think a whole investigation needs to go down, and I do believe they need to. I do believe they need to face some type of punishment, including the Texans, because I think that's what happened.
Well, thanks for answering. And then Kim Edmondson said, no mention of Kevin Garrett's jersey retirement.
Kevin Garnett, I'm really not a KG fan, even though he called himself the big ticket. But congratulations, KG, for getting your jersey retired. I'm not a KG fan. That wasn't news to me.
You cannot, you got to be fair and balanced, Kenny.
I'm trying to be fair and balanced, but I'm not a KG fan. I'm not. I mean, he did his thing. I can't take nothing from him. But his jersey retirement, it was a nice thing. You know, I'm glad he paid tribute to his two teammates, Ray Allen and Paul Pierce. So, congratulations, Kevin Garnett.
Listen, now, if I can talk about the previous occupant in a good light,
I got to work on it.
In the past 7 days.
I got to work on it. I got to work on it. Because there's some people out there that man, look. I'm working on that. I'm working on that.
Listen to you. Latrice said Kenny is being biased. We gotta play fair. We gotta play fair.
I'm gonna be fair. I'm gonna start being fair. I promise. I'm gonna start being fair.
She also says thank you for your insight and commentary. Have y'all noticed how Kenny has grown over the past several months? I'm so proud of him. I'm so proud of him.
It's starting to get fun.
You said starting to get fun.
It's starting to get fun. I'm not nervous. No, I'm nervous. I'm nervous before I come on, but I'm not as nervous as I used to be. The nerves are pushing me into
every morning.
The nerves are pushing me into what I'm supposed to do.
Of it. I think that's a part of it. And one thing that I heard Sunny Hostin say on The View not too long ago, and I said, oh my gosh, that's me. She says that she has to make sure she is overly prepared. She said that helps her with some of her nerves. It was like, yeah, that she hit that nail on the head, because it does. Because you want to make sure, is this fact? Do I have everything right? Will somebody come back to get? I mean, it's just like so much that you're dealing with, but you just have to go with it and believe what it is that you're doing, and you're doing that. So thank you so much.
I think one of the things that helped me is when you told me to quit looking at the notes.
Yep, got to give up.
I know it. You know it. Quit looking at them. So I got them. I got them, but. Just do what you do.
and I'm going to say this as a teaching moment with everyone out there. We all have notes. What I look at, I'm looking at bullet points. There are times if I'm doing a direct quote, I have the entire quote, and that's when you see me looking down. But you go over this so much that it should be it should be a part of you, that when you're ready to say it, it automatically comes back. You see a word, it comes back. That's how it works for me. So I cannot sit here and write down everything that I'm saying. I have a bullet point for most of it. And I go in and pull that out because I've already researched it. So that's what I was sharing with Kenny. I said, let the notes go, let the notes go. I said, you know this. And you just have to have the confidence behind this. And y'all, this isn't Wednesday, but here's a quick lesson. You have to have the confidence behind what it is that you're doing, that you know it. And Kenny, you know it. So keep going with it.
Thank you so much.
Keep going with it.
Everybody have a great day. I see y'all.
You too. Y'all, just a couple more quick news things. I'm going to give you the inspirational message. Y'all, AP is reporting Libya Coast Guard migrant boat capsized, 19 presumed dead. A boat carrying around 24 migrants capsized in the Mediterranean Sea off of the coast of Libya on Saturday, with at least 19 people missing and presumed dead, authorities said. Libya's Coast Guard said that a group of 23 migrants, both Egyptians and I lost the other word. So there's two different sets of people there. Set off on the eastern city earlier on 2 days ago. 3 migrants were rescued and taken to the hospital. Only one body has been retrieved, and search efforts are ongoing, the agency said. The other thing, y'all, Uber prices are going up, and this image is credit from Medium. AP is reporting Ubers are getting more expensive, and you can blame the rise in gas prices. Uber is rolling out a temporary surcharge on Uber trips and Uber Eats delivery orders beginning Wednesday to offset the higher cost of gas for its drivers. The surcharge for the trips will be either 45 cents or 55 cents per ride. Also, I see a lot of restaurants are now charging you for straws and a cup. So just be mindful of that. Y'all, don't be mad at them. Just say this is where we are right now, and we just have to keep moving forward. And then now for the inspirational message. This is going to be quick. And the inspirational message is never say never. Never say never. Again, I'll say never say never. You never know what's going to be presented to you. I think we have a responsibility to pray about it, to fast about it, to seek God about it, but never just say never. You know, God is he sometimes I sit back, I'm like, God, you're not, I'm not laughing at what you just did. And God will say, but this is what, you keep saying you're never going to do this or you're never going to do that. And I'm not going to sit here and tell y'all some of the things I'm battling with God for right now, but I can never say never. There's things that I'm sitting here going, I'm really considering this. And why am I considering these things? I don't even want y'all to start speculating because y'all might be wrong. But I'm like, God, I said I wasn't going to do that. And he says, well, the time is now. So God has been just putting people in my life in many different directions. And it's like, different things are unfolding. And I'm sitting back saying, God, is this a word from you, or is this just what people want? So I'm treading lightly on some things, but I really want to encourage you to stop saying I'm never going to do, because that thing may come back around to you. So who knows? I may be eating crow in a month or two, and I'm saying that to say, because I said I would never do a certain thing, but we don't know. We don't know. So here's my encouragement for you today. Take each day as it comes and enjoy that moment. Enjoy that moment. Enjoy that opportunity. Enjoy that relationship. Enjoy that purchase or whatever it is. Enjoy each moment as they come. One thing that I'm reminded of, that God is not the author of confusion. So if you are faced with confusion, no, that's not of God. But if you are faced with pressure or an impression or discernment or knowing that I think God is speaking to me, that's when you get on your knees and pray and say, Abba, Father, what exactly are you trying to reveal to me? And until that revelation knowledge comes forth, how do I move forth in my current situation and what I'm currently focused on? I want you to start there. That's right, Deb, enjoy each moment. I want you to start there. God is such an amazing, he's an amazing, amazing God. I have seen God just come forth with so much love lately that I really cannot describe. He's a loving God already, but I've been witnessing some things. I was in Atlanta this weekend, had a blast, but I was a little mad because y'all had snow in Central Ohio and some of the areas out here in the eastern Midwest and all of that. Well, it was snowing in Atlanta on Saturday. I said, "What is this? What is this? I didn't dress for this. I am not ready for this. What is this?" And so, hanging out with my girl, we were just driving around doing some things. We were checking on some things. And I was like, "What is happening right now?" And she was like, "Mom, it's been warm. It's been in the 70s. I don't know what happened." But just our conversation, our joy, our laughter, just doing the things and just talking about. And I was sharing with her some of the things that I've just been wrestling with. She's concerned about me when it comes to Wednesday. But beyond that, we had a great time. And I even said to her, I said, "Never say never." As we were talking and doing some things, she was like, "I don't think I'll ever do that. So I'm going to just say, no, 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 I'm never doing that." I said, "Never say never." That's why I'm sharing this with you today, because through our conversation, we both agreed that we can never say never. All right, y'all, that's all I have. I'll be back on Tuesday. Wednesday's going to be questionable. I may have Deborah Johnson come and do the news on Wednesday. So Deb may be calling you. So yeah, Wednesday I'm playing by ear. By what I do is not until the afternoon, but I don't know how I'm gonna feel that morning. So I'm not going to fake news. I can't do that. So I may have Deborah come on and do it. But y'all, until tomorrow, I should be back here right here tomorrow at 7:25 a.m. Eastern. Y'all stay well. Stay well. Now, if President Obama can get COVID, all of us can get COVID. All right. Stay well and remember, make some bold moves. I'm out.